Amazing audience, we're live with Cissi Sherlock. Cissi, it's a great pleasure to connect with you.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm wonderful.
How's your day been so far?
My day has been interesting.
Yeah.
And then I walk into this environment and I see people that I've known for years, and it's just so comforting just to see so many people collaborating that you didn't know that you were going to run into. It seems like the universe was meant to be that way at this given time.
I love it. Today's the 6th of July.
Yeah.
Well, do tell me, which of your talents has brought you here today?
Well, I work with Arnie Goldberg with the DAC Foundation, one of the DAC companies, DAK, DAC.
Right.
DAC is the little dog that he and his wife adopted.
Yeah.
And the story is that one day Arnie called me. Actually, we were calling each other because we both had ideas that we wanted to pitch to each other, that over the years, because we knew each other's personalities, each other's work ethics, each other's acumen, that we knew who was perfect to partner with for this. So we sat down and talked. I pitched mine, he pitched his, and we said, well, we'll do this one first, and then we'll migrate to the second one. But he wanted me to work for him. But once he pitched the idea of DAC and what he saw for the future, I said, it's not going to work. I'm in. He's like, yeah, I'm going to be a partner. I'm going to be a partner in this. I'm going to help it grow. I see it. I feel it.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. He couldn't refuse, okay? He couldn't refuse. And we said, well, we'll go ahead on that venture. We'll look at your venture later, which was fine because the fact that it even had anything to do with dogs just had me hooked.
Yeah.
And so I came on board and we started to grow from there.
So you love dogs as well, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite dog?
My favorite dog is any dog.
Okay.
Any dog. As a matter of fact, my favorite dog that I've ever had in my life as far as a pet was a childhood dog that I had at the age of 8. We were at our summer house at Fox Lake in Angola, Indiana. My mom called and said, I got you a puppy, and I made some relative or somebody drive back to Indianapolis to bring me to see my puppy, and we kept him until I went to college. And his name was, and I always love this, Chico Francisco Francono Gonzalez Sherlock Wright. But we just called him Chico.
I could imagine having to interview that guy.
Now he was a mixed lab,
Right.
but just the sweetest dog you'd ever want.
Yeah. What's your fascination with dogs in terms of what is the thing you like about
Love. Unconditional love. Oh, you're going to make me cry now. Just the fact that you're able to give it and get it back, and how they will recognize within other individuals their capacity to love, because they will know when they meet a person whether to stay away from them or whether to migrate toward them. And it's just interesting. I mean, it is a good barometer of someone's personality.
Yeah, put your dog out there,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a sixth sense. That's amazing. I'm glad that you partnered with this. So, and you was telling me about the radio program that you all are doing. Tell me more about that.
Oh,
please.
absolutely. I have just been enamored with this particular project. Arnie and I have an amazing partnership in that one of us will call each other and we'll go, how about this? And we're what I call do-done people. Do, done. So you pitch it. If it sounds good, it gets done. Everything else in the middle, we're already so regimented and have had so much experience in our lifetimes that we know what to do. So along came the idea of the radio show, just like the idea of the foundation. And it was just like, who is that? Larry the Cable Guy. Get her done. You know? And then our mantra is, got it done. But we decided that in the community aspect of the DAC Foundation, we wanted to reach out more and envelop more people and be able to develop a pet community encompassed in what we call the DAC Club. Now, the DAC Club is an organization that we are growing that has to do with bringing all dog owners all over the United States together to share information, products, collaborations, et cetera, so that they won't feel so lonely. So where we went with that was to pitch the radio show to a local friend of ours, and he was like, okay, sure. So from that grew an old tagline that I had for pets and people too. So with the DAC Club, which is what we call the DAC Club Dog Show, it's for pets and people too. because we also want to encompass in our information giving people that may not have an affinity for dogs, but they do have an affinity for information, and they would also love to support a good charity, which is the DAC Foundation, which we say we have no political ties, no religious ties, which is based on love.
Yeah, I love that. Just like dogs.
Just like dogs.
All right. Can I offer a suggestion?
Yes.
Please make it into a podcast. A podcast.
That is.
In the doing as well?
Yes.
All right, wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, because the podcast
Thank
community
you.
would appreciate that.
Yes.
I'm sure they would.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to start with listening parties, and then as we grow, we're going to make that, because, I mean, the radio show is only 5 weeks old.
Right.
So we really haven't gotten to that point, so as soon as we get our feet wet
Right.
with the radio
So
show.
you're taking the radio content and you're just simply making that into the podcast.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely, and we want that to air at the same time that the radio show is airing, so that we can actually combine community events with the
Right.
radio show.
What the podcast community likes though is that they can have the radio on demand, so that they'll want to listen to the episode when they want to, right?
Yes.
Because they may not be able to be on live when you are on live. So the podcast will give you the opportunity to have that episode.
Right.
You'll have it dated, but they can listen to it when, if they're driving to work the next day or whenever, or walking the dog, right?
Yes.
So the podcast is my humble suggestion.
Oh, thank you so much, because my big deal is about interaction.
Yeah.
Interaction between the different people that we come in contact with. Because Arnie has this thing about walking up to people anywhere we are. We're in restaurants, we're in grocery stores or whatever, and saying, "Are you a dog person?" You know, then the next thing I know, he's caught up in a conversation, with someone, and then I'm playing wing woman, you know. Okay, yeah, here, yeah, that's right, Sissy. Oh, yeah. But it's just so interesting to see him interact, because people will say, even if people say, "Oh, well, no, not really," then we go into the "but we," you know, so there's always a comeback, and we always reel them in some kind of way.
Yeah, I love that. Wonderful. Boom. Well, let's switch gears for a moment.
Yes.
Let me now invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Sissy, what is your earliest childhood memory?
Well, when you say beautiful, warm Caribbean waters, I have an earliest childhood memory that is my favorite, but I also have one that involves water. And that is, if you recall, when I was telling you about me getting Chico when I was 8 years old, we were at Fox Lake.
Could you say Chico's full name one more time, please?
Chico Francisco Francono Gonzalez Sherlock, right?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah! And I used to, oh, it's going to bring tears to my eyes. This particular cottage is now on the Registry of Historical Landmarks in Indiana, in Fox Lake in Angola, Indiana. But we leave out, run down the hill, run right into the lake. But on this day, I was running back home to see my puppy. Yes.
That's amazing. So how do you see that memory connecting to who you are today? How old were you? How old were you in that memory?
8.
All right. How do you see that memory connecting to who you are today?
The unconditional love that I got from my puppy, that remained until he went off to college, until I went off to college. And maybe the fact that I just expected him to be there when I got home. Unfortunately, my mom put him to sleep. He was pretty old.
Suffering.
Yeah, because I mean, that's 8, and you were talking about me going off to college, so imagine the years in between. But in there, I got plenty of good years of unconditional companionship.
That's wonderful. If we fast forward to when you were 12, what was your favorite song?
12? What was my what?
Favorite song?
Favorite song?
12 years old.
Stay in My Corner by the Dells, which it still is, and they're still one of my all-time favorite groups.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
Staying in your corner is important, right?
Yeah. Yes. I love to sing.
Yeah.
And I was a cheerleader at my grade school. And so when we would, after we play our basketball games, everyone would stand on this mound in front of my school, and we would sing songs. And since I was extremely outgoing, kind of still am. That was one of the songs that we sang, but that was one of our favorite songs because there was a lot of harmony, and we could do our little steps, and we could mimic all the groups, and you know, everyone was just famous in their own head.
I love it. Well, you are famous. You're heading on the radio now.
Yeah.
All right, so we've arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form, so it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. Yeah?
Yes.
Cissi, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Technically, yes.
Are you married?
No.
Do you have children?
Yes.
How many?
2.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Sort of.
How about 3 hours a week? Is that more accurate?
Well, shall we say it watches me, because while I'm working on the computer, I'll have something on and I'm absorbing information, and so consequently I absorb a lot of information and can make really minute conversations with a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a good idea. What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Less.
All right. If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, what would you say that is?
Can I recite a short poem?
Sure, please.
When I was young, but I actually didn't discover it until I was an adult, there was a group called the Four Tops, and they had a song called Still Waters Run Deep. And on the flip side of the 45, which doesn't tell my age to anyone, okay, Still Waters Run Deep had a poem. And it started out, "Oh, what peace I find within this heart of mine." But the interesting part was that it was called peace. So peace stands for something, each letter. So P is for the privilege of loving and the privilege of being loved. E is for the ease it gives the soul and the mind. A is for the absence in the search to find yourself. And I always say that we as human beings are always in a constant state of A. As we embark on C is the calm you feel when you like what you find. E is everlasting. Let this love never cease. Peace. And that has gone through with me through life.
I love it. Wow. Cissi, this has been a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Yes. When you come into the DAC Foundation office, we only exist in love.
I love it. Cissi Sherlock, thank you for being on What is Inspired. In a most detective way, if you would. A Sherlock Holmes way, right?
He had to go there.
I couldn't help it. It was like, oh, I got to the end and I didn't do it. Thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12 Minute Convo.
Thank you. Thank you.